Right, folks, I'm joined now by the very glamorous, the very sophisticated, the lovely Carole Ashby. Carole, welcome.
Who you are, I love it.
It's years of practice. I'd love to say it was years of practice. It's not. But welcome to this very first club event for the 007 GB Club. How are you doing? What are your thoughts on the day?
I'm actually shocked it's never been created before.
Yeah.
And it's about time we've got someone like Philip Dewhurst on board, and he's amazing. And he'll make it the biggest and the best fan club, I think. And it should be, you know, this is where Bond begins. This is the home of Bond. So I'm very, very happy to be very part of it and to be here at the very first event.
Yeah.
The weather's held up, and it's not raining, and it's beautiful. We're right opposite the MI6 building.
Yes.
Which, you know, iconic. And yeah, it's great to be here and see so many people who are so enthusiastic and fans. Honeymoon couple are in from the States, in from Vegas.
Yes.
And to meet up with the girls again. So, yeah.
It's great.
And to meet you, Marky Mark. So.
There we go. Can I ask you, how is it, like you do Octopussy, and then you get a call to come back again as a different character in a different movie. How does that come about? How does that feel?
A very lucky bunny. I'm a lucky girl. I'll tell you what actually happened is I finished doing the tour, we've done the filming and the tour for Octopussy, and you know, it's been so much part of my life, and I was coming back, I did the laundry and cleaning the cat litter out at home, and the phone went, and I was thinking, where do we go from here, you know, because it's been so exciting, and now it's back to laundry duty, you know. The phone went, and it was John Glenn. He said, I said, oh John, you know, I didn't know, where's my life going? And he said, you know something, Carole? I want to ask you a question. Have you got big tits and can you whistle? And I said, well, I've got medium-sized ones, and I whistle really badly. In fact, I can't really whistle very well, no. So, well, there's a part in the new movie, and it's a cabaret artist, and we were thinking of you. Let's bring you back. So I said, we'll dub the whistling. So I was back on board, and I went off the next day for costume fittings, and on to Bond again. Worked on Bond, but the next one was View to a Kill, and. They went off on another world tour, so I was just so lucky. I mean, yeah. I was very lucky.
That's amazing. I mean, it must be exhilarating to be in one Bond film, but then to get a call because they want you to come back. I mean, it's
unbelievable. You wouldn't even think it would happen. So, but I must say, the first one was probably the most exciting one, being flown out to India. I was a young little pipsqueak, fresh off State of the Century. I'd just been doing a TV show, a quiz show. You probably won't remember it. Before your time, Mark.
It was.
And so for me, that was terribly exciting. But actually, to come back again was just, you know, a dream come true without sounding too naff. But it was a dream come true. I didn't want to ever leave Bond, really, and we never really have, because once you do it and once you're part of the Bond family, Bond girls are forever and the family's forever.
Yeah.
And that means a lot. We've got some great friendships here, you know.
Absolutely. I was going to ask, is there any particular standout memory from either of the films, but just your experience of working on the films? Is there any standout memory for you that is a really special one for you?
Well, the most magical memory is there was a wrap party for Octopussy, and we were in the Shivnivas Palace Hotel, which was part of the Maharaja's palace that they turned into a hotel, which is very exotic, very beautiful. And you know, I don't know whether you've been to India, but the light in India as the sun goes down, and we were having this exotic, wonderful party with ice sculptures and music playing, and all the crew, the cast, and looking over the lake. And then we had this firework display, and of course it reflects in the lake. And I looked around and I thought, it doesn't get much better than this. Pinch me. It was wonderful. The beginning of Octopus was quite interesting. My first night there, I'm known for my hijinks and bad behaviour, I suppose, but I had a water fight with the photographer, Jeffrey, and I went behind the fountain and splashed the water across at it, and it came back at me, and then I aquaplaned on the marble floor, hit the wall, and damaged my foot. And then Rocky Taylor, the stuntman, the very famous stuntman, carried me across to my room. The doctor came, and I had to get an injection. My foot was bound. I mean, it was a nightmare. And I had to wear a blue slipper. Well, the next day was the first day of filming.
Oh, no.
And so I've got this damn great blue slipper that every time John Glenn was, wanted to roll, it's okay, you're right. Right, UK, right, we've got the guys you know, on the rowboat, we've got the helicopters, we've got, right, slipper, okay, action. So from the very beginning, I think I was probably a bit of trouble, and they remembered me in my damn slipper. So yeah, so Octopussy I think was probably the most magical memories because it was just so new and exciting.
Yeah,
you know.
It must be the best job in the world. I mean,
I don't think after you've made a Bond film, we can make other films, but nothing is quite like it because it is such a production. It is so professional. They look after you so well. But it really is quite something to be part of in this kind of filming, and it doesn't happen very often.
A couple of our club members who obviously can't, or everyone can't fit in this lovely space. No. But a few people have sent through some questions, so I just wanted to pose a couple to you, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
So one of our members, the Bond Experience, a guy called David Zaritsky over in the States,
yes,
asks, "Are you fond of butterflies in your real life?"
Am I fond of butterflies in my real life? I think what's not to be fond of? They're the most beautiful things in the world. I mean, it's sad when you see them in a case pinned down. Yes. You know. I never forget. I was in St Lucia, and I looked over, and there was a view of Montserrat, and we had it was like we call them a flock of butterflies that literally came across, and I just thought they're the most beautiful things in the world. Yes, I love butterflies. Yeah.
There we go. That's great. There was another question that came through, and I was annoyed with myself that I didn't think of this one myself. But one of our members asks, had Sir Roger, changed much between Octopussy and A View to a Kill, or was he still as suave and still Bond?
I think Roger had a portrait in the attic, hence Dorian Gray, because he never really aged, and he was always, I think, one of the most charming men I've ever met, great looking, unassuming, would laugh at himself, great sense of humour, and it was great fun to be with. He was great to be with. And has he changed? No. I mean, I loved his company. I was devastated when I heard Roger had died. He was a special person, and at the funeral, at the memorial, his best friend Michael Caine made the most wonderful speech, eulogy, call it what you like, just to talk about his best friend, saying, had he not been so damn good looking, he'd have made a wonderful comedian. But his looks kind of took over, and he got Bond. But he had the lot. He had the lot. I think.
Well, I think it's a very kind of fitting tribute as well to Sir Roger that the club is raising funds.
I love that for UNICEF. Absolutely, he was passionate about UNICEF, as you know, and yeah, I think it's wonderful that's who they're supporting. Yeah. You know, it's very important. And also for me, I without bringing the tone down and making it more of it, I had two friends who were killed in a plane crash, but one was still alive. And UNICEF, this was in Ethiopia many years ago. I was at school. They flew the sister back, Jane back, and sadly she didn't make it, but they got her out of Ethiopia and made her end comfortable. Yeah. They are quite an amazing organisation, and so for me as well as Roger, it's very dear to my heart too.
Yeah. Carole Ashby, I can't thank you enough. All our members can't thank you enough for coming today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. If you have any final words for our international members, feel free, but thank you so much.
My pleasure, and I've loved it. And I just think we're one big Bond family. And I've been lucky enough to work in France and in America, Germany. And so it's great that you all pull together because it's not competition. We are loving the same thing and working towards the same thing. And I say hi and love to you all out there. And yeah, good luck with Bond GB, with the fan club GB. Your UK, is it? Bond UK.
007 GB.
007 GB.
There we go. Carole Ashby.